Welcome back friends to my tutorial on Kotlin programming. So today I'm going to talk about while, if and if expressions in Kotlin. So let's get started. First off, I'm going to create a function in main, and we started a function. So I'm going to explain while loop. So like most of the programming languages, the functionality of the while loop is the same. So let's say let's say we want to print a particular string for 5 times, so we can use it with while loop. As the keyword is while parenthesis, and we're going to set a limit. Let's say a is less than 5. We can also just declare what is a. So a equal to 1. So let me put equal to sign. Okay, let's open a parenthesis and print in a new line that this is in loop. Okay, so let me run this. It's taking a while. So x, okay, by mistake now we are in an infinite loop because the condition is set to be true all the times, because a is never going to reach 5. So this is what we call as infinite loop. So if you ever come across something like this, you can just click the stop button right here. So this stops the process. The process is finished, so you don't have to get panic or anything. So let's just change that. So we just want to add a condition where the value of a is going to be increased every single time we are going to repeat the loop, or every single time a loop is executed on the next iteration. We just want to increase the value of a. So we can do that by a equal to a plus 1. Okay, and let's run the code. So as you can see right now, it is repeated 5 times. So 1 1 2 3 4 and 5. So this is basically how the loop works, while loop works. So while a conditional expression and the code we want to execute in the loop, that's it. Find the factorial of a number. So let's clear all this and start by creating variable, and let me name it as limit equal to 8. So what basically it is that we want to find the factorial of 8, so that is why we are assigning to the limit. Let's keep a variable, create a variable a for the conditional expression. Let's initialize it with 1, and let's create another variable called result to store the result. So let's say result equal to 1. So why am I using 1? I will explain it here. So let's say while condition, so a is less than equal to limit, so less than equal to limit, and create a function. So what I want to use is result equal to result star a. So there is a shorthand method to convert this expression, so I can even use like this. So result product equal to a. So these two expressions mean the same thing. So this is easy to type, like it's code, like it is much more efficient than the above one. There is nothing really different with both the expressions. It's just a short type. So okay, result star equal to a. So why, if I'm initializing result equal to 0, what happens is that every time I'm going to do some multiplication operation here, it gets multiplied with 0 and the result stays 0. So I don't want to do that. So that's why I initialize with 1. So let's increment the value of a, so I can do the same, plus equal to 1. So this and this are the same expression, it means the same. So it's just a short type and much more efficient to code. Okay, so let's print the result. So print ln the factorial of limit is result. Okay, now let's run the code and see if it is working. So as you can see, the factorial of 8 is 40320. That's nice. what about the factorial of 5? Because I know factorial of 5 is 120. Let's check whether our code is working fine. Yeah, so the factorial of 5 is 120. It's working good. So this is how we use while loop in Kotlin. Like, this is the format and syntax for it. Now let's see about if and if expression. So let me clear all this. Okay. So how if and if else work is a pretty basic. Like, I can say if a condition is true, then I want to do something, and if that is not the condition, I want to try something else. So that is the basic concept behind it. If and if expression is something where we can return a value instead of just doing something. So let me explain. So to create if, write keyword the if, the parameter. So let me give a condition. So let me say if a is greater than b, and what I want to do, I want to print okay, I want to print in a new line that a is greater than b. Okay, so that's that. Next, I want to go with the else statement. If that's not the case, then I want to print a is not greater than b. So let me run this. As you can see, of course a is greater than b because a is 5 and 3. If that wasn't the case, like, let me change it to 1 and run it again. You can get the result a is not greater than b. So this is how basically if else works. And let's create a program for printing all the even numbers in like up to 10 maybe. So let's create a variable. So limit equal to 10. Let's create another variable a equal to 1. So I want to print all the even numbers from 1 to 10. So I will go with a while. Let's say a is less than equal to limit. What I want to do is, now I want to check if how to check a is even or not. It is by module symbol. The result should be equal to 0. That is, when I divide a by 2, the remainder should be 0. If that's the case, I want to print the letter, like the number a. If so, I don't want to put any else statement if I don't need anything, and that is it. So by doing this, I'm going to print all the even numbers from 1 to 10. Oh, okay, I did one mistake. After this, actually I should increment a every single time, so I didn't do that. Let's do that and run it. Stop and rerun. Okay, let me rerun. Yeah, so now I get all the even numbers between 2 to 10, like 1 to 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is how if works. So now let me talk about if expression. So if expression, instead of doing a block of code, if expression is going to return a value. And let me explain. So let's say where a equal to 5 or 4, where b equal to 3, I want to say print. What I want to print is something. Let's say if a is greater than b, I want to print a is greater than b, and else I want to print b is greater than a. So that's it. So this is all about if expression. So the condition from here to here is if expression. So if we check for a condition, if it is true, I want to return this value. So note here, this is returning a value or a function, but it's not a complete process. It's not like I'm printing it. I'm just returning the value to the println, and if the condition is false, I'm going to print this. So first let's run this and see how our code goes. So I get a is greater than b. Yeah, a is 4 and b is 3, so I get that. If I change the value to 1 and if I print it, I'm going to get b is greater than a. Obvious, yeah. So now let me show you another program to explain if expression. Let's get the sum of the numbers between 1 to 10 which are even. So let's get the sum of even numbers between 10. So I can just erase this and go back. So limit equal to 10 where a equal to 1 while while a is less than equal to limit, and I want to create another variable called sum equal to 0. I'm initializing it with 0, and let me open a curly braces, okay, and I will say sum plus equal to if brackets, then I want to say if a divided by 0 gives a remainder 2, I want to return a, else I want to return 0. And yeah, this time I'm not going to forget to increment the value of a, and after that let me print the sum limit is sum. So let me run this code and let's see what we're going to get. Okay, I got sum of 10 even numbers is 30. Okay, so why can't we change the limit and see what we get if it is 40? So let's run it, and so all the even numbers from 1 to 40, the sum of all of those even numbers is 420. Awesome. So this is how it works. So I can change this and write it much more elaborate like this. So sum is already 0, so the value over here is 0, and I'm just putting 0 equal to 0 plus like sum equal to 0 plus, and I check the condition here, and I'm gonna return a if it is true. So if a can be 2 or whatever it is, if it is not, I'm gonna just print 0. So that is how it completely works. So this is if expression, and please note that every if expression should have an else part. So if I'm let me show you that. So if I'm not having an else part, I'm gonna get an error. Okay, so if I don't have such a thing, you can see an error comes here telling if must have both main and else branch if used as an expression. So please make sure you use an else part, and that's it.